Hey Alaska, I'm standing in front of the headquarters of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the VFW headquarters post here in Washington, D.C., a testament to the men and women in our country in the military who've kept us free for centuries. Now, some of you may have been reading recently in the mainstream media on how Republicans, particularly now this time in the House, on the National Defense Authorization Act, which we are working on right now here in the U.S. Senate and in the House, have somehow inserted culture issues and social issues into this bill. Here's a PBS story. House Republicans add culture war issues traditionally to bipartisan defense bill. Here's the New York Times. Hard right presses culture wars on defense bill, imperiling passage. Here's the Washington Post. House Republicans wage woke culture wars with the military. Well, let me tell you, nothing could be further from the truth than what you're reading in today's liberal media. Here's the truth. Republicans aren't inserting anything. What we are doing is pushing back against a Pentagon that has inserted these kind of social issues, cultural issues in the military. I've been a Marine Corps infantry officer for almost 30 years. I have never seen a Pentagon led by civilians who so much focus on issues, social issues, that have absolutely nothing to do with war fighting or lethality. Let me give you the mission of the Marine Corps infantry. It is to locate, find, and destroy the enemies of America through fire and maneuver. The Pentagon right now is doing things that have nothing to do with this kind of war-fighting ethos. Let me give you a few examples of what we are pushing back on in our oversight role here in the Congress. The Secretary of the Navy is much more interested in climate change. He got his climate action plan out to the Congress about a year and a half ago than he is in shipbuilding and war fighting and the requirement for him to have amphibious ships that can make sure Marines deploy around the world, none of which he is doing right now. The Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, the number 3 guy in the Pentagon, ended his confirmation hearing by saying one of his top priorities was, quote, to stamp out systemic racism within the ranks, unquote. This is a guy who's never served in the ranks. This is a guy, when I pressed him, do you have any data on besmirching the whole military as systemically racist? He didn't have that. The truth is, the U.S. military, while not perfect, is certainly one of the most exemplary civil rights organizations in American history. And right now, the Biden administration's Pentagon is paying active duty troops for transgender surgeries when we don't have enough money to address suicide prevention, particularly in places like Alaska, where the issue of suicide with our active duty troops is particularly acute. None of these things that the Biden Pentagon is doing have anything to do with warfighting, have anything to do with lethality, have anything to do with winning wars. What Republicans are doing in our rightful oversight role on the Armed Services Committees in the House and the Senate is get the Pentagon back to what it needs to do, focusing on lethality and winning America's wars when our military is called upon, like these brave men and women from the Veterans of Foreign Wars been doing for centuries.